Where to, dear?
I think we should go to the seaside, perhaps for an ice cream.
Oh, lovely.
On BMW's new F900XR.
Yeah!
Ridiculous.
Hi folks, welcome back to the BMW stand here at the NEC. We've taken the time to have a look already at BMW's very, very interesting new F900 parallel twin roadster. In addition to that, I guess their sort of bigger brother is the new F900XR. So that's their sort of middleweight touring bike. They released a kind of concept variant about 18 months ago called the 9 Cento. And I've got to say, when I saw that bike roll up to a special event, it was gorgeous, really cool looking thing. I think it had electromagnetic panniers, if I remember correctly. Sadly, they've not translated that to the road bike, but actually the design language, the profile is very, very similar. And this is, for me, again, is a really interesting, exciting bike for this segment. You know, when you think about what's out there, what's available, I'm not sure this has got any direct competitors.
Well, this middleweight touring segment is super popular. There's no doubt. You know, you trace the 900s really popular. You trace the 700s are really popular. People love that type of bike.
Yeah, they do.
And for good reason as well. They go really well.
Yeah.
They actually pretty much handle like a naked.
Yes.
You know.
Well, they're not. I mean, you know, traditionally.
Oh, of course, Multistrada 950
yes.
as well.
Yes.
Really great bikes,
Yeah.
and you know, people are wanting to put a lot of mileage on. I mean, I've done quite a few ferry trips actually recently, and you know what? Well, not half the dock, but you know, there's quite a few bikes on them, and people are doing a lot more trips. They want something. They need something more comfortable.
Yeah.
Soft seat, nice riding position, nice screen. Good engine, but also handling well as well, because you know you're going to travel all the way to Austria for those good roads.
Sure.
And you know you don't necessarily want
the reason
a Honda Goldwing, do you?
In some respects, you've got, you know, Yamaha have got a lot to be thanked for, I think, because they've kind of driven that market a little bit. But the reality is, you know, the way that manufacturers are looking at the model selection and the type of bikes they're producing has changed enormously. You know, what a lot of people want, including myself, is you kind of want a bit of a Swiss Army knife for a bike. You actually want a bike that you could sit on for 5 hours, but also that if you want to go for a blast, it's agile, it turns well.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're absolutely right. If you're going to get on a ferry and I went, you know, south of Spain, I need a screen. I like heated grips. I love cruise control. So, Chris, thanks so much for your time. I know we've just spoken very briefly about the F800, F800 900R, and I was sort of fascinated to get a sense of how that differs from the new XR. You just talk me through how they kind of, you know, how they compare in terms of riding experience.
Yeah, it's a funny thing because, essentially the backbone of the bike is the same. You know, they're based on the same chassis, the same engine. Surprisingly different feel to the two bikes. You know, the 900R feels more at the sports bike end of things. It's a real nice flowing through fast bends, but in town this thing feels actually a little easier to handle because you're a bit more sat up, big wide bars. Yeah. And this is almost a more childish bike. It really surprised me, this thing. I had so much fun every time I got off it, even comparing it to the S1000 XR.
So it's big brother.
This thing was a hoot. It was an absolute riot to ride.
So at slow speed, really easy, compliant, manoeuvrable, but actually when you go out onto the open roads, it's also a really enjoyable bike to ride at a higher speed. Exactly.
It does that thing that a sort of sporty road bike should do. It makes you feel happy. It makes you feel like you're getting everything out of it.
You're making me feel happy talking about it.
Can you tell I was excited? And that's the thing. When you ride it as hard as you can, you're in the video footage, we were riding them hard, and right on the limit. There's plenty of feel, and the bike just feels like it's letting you know what's going on.
So it's reassuring. You're never kind of intimidated by the riding experience at all.
Absolutely not. It gave you confidence and just made you go out and hair around like an idiot. I love it.
Chris has just sold me one of these. Somebody want to take my deposit?
So of course the bike, like the F900R, comes with the amazing BMW TFT, which is just the most beautiful dashes that I've seen on a motorbike.
It's
really
like going to Blackpool Illuminations, isn't it? When you get your bike every time. It is.
It's a nice welcome, isn't it, as you get on. You know,
it sounds ridiculous, right? But you kind of, you get on this bike a winter evening, and that light's in. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, it's like a nice warm.
I almost feel like I'm in my car.
But it is. It's, I mean, jokes aside, it's super crisp, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really easy to use. feature packed and get all that connectivity. Again, that's another thing, isn't it, with manufacturers? BMW really embrace that. You're able to download the app to your phone. You can connect to your bike. It just simplifies all the terms.
So you can run sat nav.
Run your sat nav, run your phone, run your music. You can do all sorts of bits and pieces with it. And again, you know, as we were talking about with the 800 Road, the 900 Roads, the 900 Roadster, most people are going to buy the TE, the Touring Edition, because you get so much more for your money.
Yeah.
And without banging on about value again, you know, this bike on the road, just under 10.4. With all of these toys,
that's the sport version, then the
touring version.
Yes, okay, sorry, the touring version. So standard comes in at 9,365, and this one is 10,365.
So effectively for another £1,000, you get Riding Modes Pro, quick shifter, heated grips, cruise control. The list is very long.
Yeah.
So you are getting a massive amount of bike for your money, and like I say, a kind of incredibly usable tool for all types of riding, touring, going out for a blast, everything. And that I think is the key for me. I mean, it's a difficult one. I've come on over here and vacillated wildly. Do I prefer this? Do I prefer that? I don't know.
I think you're a fan actually of that screen, Mark, aren't you?
I'm a middle-aged man.
It works as well. It works well. I love the fact that you just do that to lift it up and down. I mean, that's great. I mean, we had a KTM recently, and you had to like get your Allen key out and unscrew the bolt, and then lift it up. And even then, it didn't work.
You got to stop for 15 minutes. Get your tool back out.
Yeah, in the cold. So this is really, really good. I actually prefer the red, you know, being honest, but it comes in 3 different colourways, isn't it? So it comes in a red, comes in a grey, and I think it comes in a black as well.
No, there's a gold.
Oh, a gold.
Well, I'm not sure exactly what the BMW terminology for that colour is, but actually, you kind of think gold and you think, yeah, not so much. But in the flesh, that is a very nice looking motorcycle.
Yeah.
The
other thing that they do quite nicely on this bike, and we didn't mention it in the F900R one, is that they do a really nice exhaust. You know, and we've talked a bit about exhaust getting bigger and bigger, and you know, sort of.
Let's talk about exhaust. Shall we?
So
we're talking about exhaust.
So it's quite a nice
favourite topic.
It's quite a nice exhaust on this one.
It's kind of like a slash cut exhaust.
Yeah.
It's not enormous. I don't think, honestly, even if I could contort myself, we could live in that one. Just isn't quite big enough. Interestingly as well, I think we would be remiss not to mention that these bikes do come in A2 licence friendly form. So you know, if you're an A2 licence holder, you're an age where you can't go for your full. These can come as an A2, which is amazing, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You can have this much bike, and you could be, I don't know how old you are to be A2 licence compliant. It was a long time ago.
21 or something.
21, yeah. But you've got that option too. So they really have ticked so many boxes with these bikes, and again, put their best foot forward in what is a very competitive market. But you know, honestly, again, at the risk of sounding like a total sycophant, I honestly can't say to you that there is a direct competitor at this price. No. That's the thing that surprises me the most is how they've managed to position these bikes at the price they have. If you think about,
and you consider that it's BMW.
Yeah.
So you know everything else. And there are other brands out there, but it's not going to be as well made as this.
No.
And everyone that uses a BMW product, whether it's a GS owner or an R9T owner, you know, there's never any complaints about the build quality.
No.
You know, and that's why they keep coming back, because they are well made.
Yeah.
And you go on other stuff and it's all a bit plasticky and stuff. These guys really take care because they're such a big worldwide brand. Technically you should be actually paying a premium for that, but I think the reality is that you're not in this case.
I don't think BMW want this to be a secret, but you know, frankly, I really am incredibly surprised at how they've positioned these bikes price-wise. I do think, dare I say it, they're a bit of a bargain.
Yeah.
You know, if you are looking to upgrade from a kind of smaller capacity bike, and you want to get yourself onto a real full-size machine, whether it be the Roadster, whether it be the XR, they are phenomenal value for money. There's no doubt about it. Just very quickly, obviously it being the touring-based bike, the tank is slightly larger. I don't know whether we mentioned the Roadster video, but that's a 13 and this is a 15-litre tank, so range is sensible.
Okay. So again, the F900XR is fitted with Brembo brakes, just like the naked variant. So it's going to stop really well, basically.
Same setup as the new 900 Roadster.
And the tyres are a bit more of a sport touring orientated. The T30R from Bridgestone, which is just a bit probably longer life tyre basically.
And one other interesting piece of technical is that this is just 8 kilos heavier than its naked equivalent, which is very little, frankly, isn't it? It's probably like a big Christmas dinner.
Or the difference between me and you.
If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, please subscribe to the channel. Massive endorsement from me, incredible value for money. Yeah, so come along and check it out as soon as you get the chance. We'll see you in the next one.